Yeah, after discussing on the origin of human ecology, and also we have covered the Chicago school, wherein the human ecology was initially being conceived, and in this lecture we would just have an overview of the theoretical approach which is being very much used in human ecology, and they are environmental determinism and environmental possibilism. Now, what is environmental determinism and what exactly is determinism? Now, in a very simple sense, we can say that environment strongly influence, or if not tends to determine the behavior, if not the culture of human society. Now, environmental determinism is the first theoretical approach which were being used in order to look at the development of human ecology. Now, for instance, the geographer Friedrich Rejeld from Germany and his American disciple Alan C. Semple were the first to espouse the view that humans were completely the product of their environment. That is a theory that come to be called environmental determinism. Now, if we look around globally, we can cite certain examples of human society where their environment influences the behavior or determined their behavior. Now, if we take an examples of the Eskimos, which were in a sense perceived to be primitive, if not seen to be nomads, and this is primarily because of the kind of the harsh conditions in which they habitat. Now, in a sense, this kind of environment or the habitat which they inhabit to some extent has influenced them in order to go on with that kind of culture. Now, one of the recent works which is being carried forward by the historian James C. Scott. If you would like to further look into this on the idea of this environmental determinism, he actually made an extensive study in South Asia and Southeast Asia, wherein he tried to look at the kind of the terrain or the landscape which are being inhabited by mostly the Mongoloid race. And in one of the works of James C. Scott, you can actually see wherein he argued why civilization cannot climb the hills. Now, in that he tries to come up with an idea that the Highlander or those who inhabit the upland were in a sense purposely trying to evade civilization or evading the state. Now, ideally, this concept of state or the modern state is something which is to be seen in relationship with how the civilizations comes into being. Now, there are communities who in essence purposely tends to evade the state and have their own kind of sort of their means of livelihood. Now, in that you can actually see the kind of geographical landscape, how they are being influenced by the kind of agriculture practices, for instance, the zooming if not shifting cultivation. Now, why are these people practicing these agriculture practices? Now, what James Scott find out and argued is, in a way, these agriculture practices were easy for them to move on or find newer pastures or newer areas, so that they are not confined to a single physical landscape. Now, the reason why I partly discuss James Scott work is, if you would like to, in a sense, try to look further of the relationship between this environment and how it influences the culture, if not a cultural community, you can further refer to the work of James Scott. Now, moving on, what actually is environmental determinism? This deterministic approach, in a sense, dominate the influence in the explanations, and it is primarily based on the assumption that cultural and natural areas are coterminous, that is, nature and culture, because culture represents an adaptation to the particular environment. Now, this is espoused by Stewart. Now, in this, if you look at the relationship between nature and culture and vis-a-vis adaptation, some of the maybe agriculture practices, or maybe those who carried forward the pastoralism or any kind of economic production, for that matter, it is being something which is decided by not just the cultural group, but rather it is the environment in which that community adapt, or in essence are influenced by their environment. Now, therefore, these environmental factors to some extent determined the human, social and cultural behavior. Now, for instance, if you look at the kind of let us say the food and drink practices. Now, even the food habits which in essence are influenced by the environment, and environment to some extent strongly determined the human, social and cultural behaviors. Now, or maybe the kind of dressed or if not clothing is also to some extent determined by the, let us say, the environment. Now, you can in a sense look at the diverse form of human, social and cultural behavior, if not the kind of cultural traits which humans have practices over the years or over the past generations, in a sense is not something which is created overnight, but rather which has been partially evolving over a different generations. Now, by saying so, we don't we should not perceive that culture as such is static, rather it is changing and evolving. And there are some recent works which looks at how the climate change in essence influences, or rather the agricultural practices of many communities. Now, they find a way out how to adapt the kind of environmental changes. Now, these are to be seen in the context of how a human society or community tends to adapt with the changing environment. Now, therefore, this environmental determinism in a sense has to be located in the context of the culture and nature relationship. Now, in the upcoming lectures, we will try to also look at the debates on nature and culture and how this perception of nature and culture has changes and how it is to be situated in the context of the modern development paradigm. Now, one of the main emphasis which is being laid by determinism is also on the philosophical position that people have perceived their relationship between man and nature. Now, there are some works which perhaps now the works of like Murray Bookchin, and also there are many environmental philosophers who tends to locate the relationship between man and nature. Now, there is a Norwegian philosopher by the name called Arne Næss. He come up with a term, coined a term called deep ecology, and in that deep ecology he tends to espouse an idea wherein human needs to engage more deeply in order to understand the ecological crisis which we humans have witnessed. Now, in deep ecology, what he mainly emphasized was the self-realization. That is, human needs to understand themselves first. That is, we need to situate ourselves in the context of the ecosystem. Now, deep ecology in a sense is in opposition to anthropocentrism. Now, in anthropocentrism, it believes in the superiority of human, that is, human is the center of the ecosystem, which means it has some sort of an inalienable rights against other beings. Now, this sort of idea of dominance over nature in a sense has to be challenged. Now, therefore, Arne Næss to some extent come up with this idea of deep ecology, that is deep ecological thinking. Now, we will try to perhaps look more in depthly about deep ecology in the coming lectures. Now, I am just partly highlighting how the idea of this engagement philosophically between man and nature has to be in a sense situated. Now, how does environmental determine the behavior of human conditioned? In a sense, the human behavior, lifestyles and the economy of living are to some extent being conditioned by the environment. Now, if there is a changes in the environment, obviously it will have an impact on the human community. Now, for instance, if you look at an example of let us say a dam being a hydro project wherein a dam is to be built. Now, across the globe, we can actually witness there are thousands and millions of people who are being displaced by these development projects. Now, if you look at the plights of these displaced people, Now, since they are being displaced from their original habitation, it will definitely have an impact on not only their lifestyle, but primarily on their economic conditions. Now, partly these are to be seen as how the environment has a strong or impinges upon the kind of behavior, if not the culture of human. Now, it has to be looked at how the environment has conditions human behavior. Therefore, environmental determinism strongly tries to advocate in looking at that. Now, determinism, what exactly is determinism? Determinism in a sense gives a maximum emphasis on the value of nature. What is then the value of nature? What if there is a changes in the value of nature? Now, the value of nature can be seen or located from different perspective, the intrinsic and the extrinsic. Now, intrinsically, if it is to be located, it needs a further exploration rather than just what it appears. It should not be judged from the face value. Now, by saying so, primarily if in the modern context, maybe from the capitalist point of view or the capitalist economic point of view, nature to some extent is seen from a utilitarian perspective. What is utilitarian perspective? It tends to equate the value of nature by judging from the output, or maybe in the context of the market value. Now, once nature is seen from this perspective, it is seen as more of a commodity. Now, this commodity in a sense from the capitalist economic point of view is seen as something which has to be exploited, and then where profit has to be extracted from it. Now, in contrast to this, there is something called a free will approach, which lays emphasis on the human capacity and potential, that is the individual self. Now, in this, it tends to hold that human has a free will capacity to challenge and change the power of nature, that is examples like storm, flood, drought, etc. Now, the question is, can human control nature? There are some debates which has been going on. Now, how human has tends to come up with different ideas and to cope, or rather to encounter the power of this nature, that is the natural disasters. Now, the second question is, can also human modify this force of environment through technology? Is technology sort of an answer to look or locate or encounter these changes of nature? Now, if you look at the evolution of human society, as humans evolve from a simple to a more complex society, so is the kind of technology and tools which we used, and the kind of technology which we use becomes finer and finer depending on the needs, or rather how we tends to adapt or cope with the changing nature. Now, therein lies the importance of human consciousness. The ideas which evolve over a period of time is to be seen in terms of human adjustment with nature. Now, this in essence symbolizes man's active involvement in the management of the environment. Now, the idea now is, thus human able to manage the environment in a more sustainable manner, the kind of management, the environmental management which we all engage into. Now, this sort of questions needs to be asked. Therefore, we tends to bring in how human tends to adjust or tends to encounter the environment through the modifications of technology. No doubt, through the use of changes of this technology, we humans are able to manage the environment. Therefore, apparently this sort of approach sounds to be quite attractive, but such claims of the environmental determinisms of causal relations between the environment and culture were in essence easily refuted by certain school of thought. Now, for instance, contradicting to what we had cited an example on this environmental determinism, if we look at some of the examples, like for instance the Tasmanians, who in essence live in an island not unlike the one inhabited by the English, made no ships. Now, the idea is, in order to cope or manage living in an island, is it ideally important to build ships? Right? Now, in that we can try to in essence look at why it is not just the environment which influences the human society, but rather human tends to behave in a different way, because they don't have that consciousness or the urge to in a way build ships, even if they are living in an island. Now, therefore, such kind of variations in human behavior in a seemingly similar geographical settings is to be environmentally determined. Now, therefore, environmental determinism is not primarily the answer. Rather, it has to be seen in a different perspective. Now, we will just briefly look at the second, that is environmental possibilism. What then is environmental possibilism? Now, the scholars who have propagated, or the proponents of this environmental possibilism, strongly asserted that while the environment does not necessarily contribute or do not directly cause or influences specific cultural developments, rather the presence of a specific or absence of specific environmental factors in a sense place limits on such development by either permitting or forbidding their occurrences. Now, for example, if we look at some of the people who inhabit an island, can in a sense be seafarers, but residents of like Inner Mongolia could not be, or maybe inhabitants of temperate regions might practice agriculture, but those living in Arctic latitudes could not. Now, there is this possibilism. The idea of possibilism in a sense tends to look at this. Now, from the works of the American anthropologist A.L. Kroeber, he showed that for instance, the Indians of the northwestern North America could not adapt the agriculture practices of maize from their southern neighbors, because the frost-free growing season in their region was shorter than 4 months, or maybe a different way. Therefore, in a sense, there is a possibility that certain agriculture crops doesn't really fit well, and therefore, it is not being practiced. Now, therefore, the environment in a sense has thus limited the ability of their culture to evolve in an agriculture directions. Now, to cite more examples, there are certain communities who inhabit a hill terrain. Now, in a hill terrain, it is difficult to practice now a wet rice cultivation or a terrace cultivation, because of the steepness or because of the geographical terrain. Now, by saying so, the environment to some extent has in essence limit the ability of a community to evolve from one particular practices to another practices. Now, therefore, it has to be seen that environmental possibilism in essence has also a role to make a broader understanding of human ecology. Now, perhaps the first possibilist stance was taken by Arnold Toynbee, a British historian, in his extensive work of a study of history. And in his work, he primarily argued that the development of civilizations could be explained in terms of their responses to environmental challenges. Now, this perhaps the works of Arnold Toynbee is a pioneer in terms of he taking the possibilist stance. Now, in that, cultures has to be in a sense located in a benign tropics which failed to evolve because they were not sufficiently challenged by their environment. Now, secondly, as we had explained about, cited an example about the Eskimos in the environmental determinism. Now, since the Eskimos have habitat the extremely harsh environmental conditions, they tends to be engaged or far away from civilizations, and they are considered to be primitive because of their coping demands or the kind of adaptations which is being created by the environment. Now, those kind of culture which in essence the environment offer sufficient but not excessive challenges had the possibility of progressing to higher stages of civilization. Now, in essence, there is a condition that if an environment to some extent has in a way influences the human community to in a way be more positive to changes. Therefore, as I had said an example of the works of James C. Scott, wherein he talks about the hills and the valley. Now, if you look at the kind of civilizations which is normally being witnessed, the valley dwellers, or in a sense the plain areas, are much more developed in compared to the hill areas. Therefore, those environment who inhabited the valley areas are more perceptive to changes, and therefore, civilization is more has much more positive inroad in the context of the valley in compared to the hills. Now, therefore, there is a higher possibility of that kind of civilization which in a sense gives preference, or if not, they are able to adapt in a more positive manner. Now, if you look at the works of the British anthropologist, that is Daryl Ford. Now, in his book Habitat, Economy and Society, which was published in 1934, he tries to look at the scientific exploration of possibilism, that is between the physical environment and human activity. Now, in that he argued that there is always a middle term, that is a collection of specific objective and values, that is a body of knowledge and belief, in other words a cultural pattern. Now, what is this cultural pattern? In trying to look at the kind of geographical terrain, if not the economic conditions or the economic production of and the relationship between society. If you try to look in this the linkages between the three, there is a possibility of looking at the importance of looking at the cultural pattern. Well, after giving a brief overview and the theoretical premises of how to situate human ecology and how human ecology emerges, and the kind of theoretical approaches in which the anthropologists and historians tries to come up with different ideas. Now, after discussing that, we will try to now look at what ecological anthropology is, because primarily this course tends to take an ecological anthropology stand and tries to understand the kind of problems which are normally being witnessed. Now, first and foremost, we will try to look at the basic premises of what ecological anthropology is. It tends to in a sense focus upon the complex relations between people and their environment, and as we know, the human population in a sense have an evolving, if not an ongoing relationship with, and also in return it has an impact upon the sort of geographical area, that is the climate and plants and animals and different kind of species in their surroundings, for instance. And all these elements in a sense have a reciprocal relationship, if not impacts on the humans. Now, therefore, there is a continuous interrelationship between the human and various other ecosystems. Now, therefore, this is perhaps the basic premises. And secondly, ecological anthropology also attempts to understand the way how humans tends to perceive, if not understand, its environment, and the subsequent manner in which these relations from the kind of human populations relationship with their social, economic and political life. Now, as we had discussed in the human ecology, it further tries to broaden because in the anthropology it tends to situate the kind of impact it has on the human culture in a more intense and in a more in-depth manner. Now, in a general understanding, ecological anthropology also attempts to provide sort of a materialist explanation of human society and culture as a product of adaptation to a given environmental conditions. Now, many of the sort of ceremonies, rituals, for that matter, the kind of relationship which evolve among humans or humans and nature, it tends to the ecological anthropology tends to encompass all these relationships which exist between not just within the human society, but human and nature, or rather human and environment. Now, it tends to locate and understand a sort of an explanation to this kind of relationship. Now, first and foremost, let us begin by looking at the works of Charles Darwin. Now, Charles Darwin, in his work The Origin of Species, way back in 1859, he tries to give us an explanation, a synthetic theory of evolution of human society, which is based on the idea of descent and modification, which is influenced rather by Malthus, which I will try to explain in the next slide. Now, what Malthus, as we all know, was the first who tends to relate the environment or human society by specifically talking about population, and he in essence was the pioneer in terms of sort of bringing the idea of this population theory. Now, Darwin in a sense by drawing from the works of Malthus tends to give a synthetic theory. Now, what he says is in every successive generations, the individuals produce much more than what they can in essence survive. That is because of limited resources and competition between individual arises. Now, how are these being influences? What actually has influences an individual to compete among themselves? Now, the capitalists might give a different explanation, or rather the Marxist understanding of this economic modes of production will give a different reflection on this. But then as human evolve, in essence it tends to give it arises the individuals to have engage in more of a competition in terms of sort of accumulation of wealth or production of more wealth. Now, for instance, individuals who are in a much more better position or sort of favorable characteristic or variations, in a sense is able to survive, to reproduce. Now, it is this environmental context that determines whether or not a trait is beneficial. Now, depending on the kind of environment an individual inhabit, it can have either a negative, if not a positive implications. Now, who is Malthus? As we had slightly talked about, Malthus strongly discuss about how if the population is to grow exponentially, and if there can be an imbalances between a population and the resources, which means there will be sort of an imbalances between the demand and supply. That is, the demand is the human and the supply is the resources. That is the resources, will the resources be able adequate to the rising population of human society. This is something which Malthus in a sense has propagated in his work on Essay of Population, which was published way back in 1798. Now, in this work, what Malthus strongly argue is, if the population in a sense increase exponentially, now the population deplete their resources to such a degree that competition for survival becomes inevitable. That is, only those who are capable, or if not able or strong, will survive, because there will be stiff competition owing to the availability of limited resources. This theory assumes that a struggle for existence will ensure, and only a certain number of individuals will survive. Now, this idea of survive or survival again is posited differently by Charles Darwin by borrowing from Malthus' theory on the issue on population. That is, Charles Darwin strongly talk about survival of the fittest, and in his idea of survival of the fittest, he also strongly propagated that it is not the strongest and the fittest who is going to survive, but rather those who are able to adapt will survive. That is, mark my words, that is, adaptation in a sense is the key to survival again. Now, Malthus' ideas in a sense influences to form an ecological basis for Darwin's theory of natural selection. Now, how is this Malthus' ideas instrumental in shaping this ecological basis? Because the natural resources in a sense has an emphasis, if not an influences on the human understanding of their environment. Now, as he strongly posited in his essay on population, Malthus happens to pioneer in the field of demographic studies, and he argued that human population naturally tends to outstrip their food supply. That is, the increasing demands or the increasing populations in a sense tends to outstrip the supply from, that is, the natural resources. And these imbalances between demand and supply will eventually lead to disease and hunger. And which will put a limit to a growth of the human population, as Seymour and Smith tends to observe. Now, on this similar line, Haeckel coined our modern understanding of ecology in way back in 1870, in which he defined as the study of the economy, that is of the household of animal organisms, and this in a sense includes the relationship of animals with the inorganic and the organic environments, and above all there is a beneficial and inimical relationship between what Darwin referred to as the conditions of struggle of existence. Now, what is these conditions of struggle of existence? Now, as the human population will in a sense exponentially grow, there will be a struggle among the human species for existence. Now, in a lighter vein, Malthus in a sense posits that the war, which is has constantly checked the population of human growth. As you know, in a war, people get killed, and then therefore, in a sense, war in a sense is seen to be a positive measure in order to control the human population. Now, if you look around globally, if not even in the Indian context, now the exponential rise of population in a sense is seen to be perceived to be in a alarming manner, because we tend to say that if there is more of a population, it is impossible to sort of cater to the needs of every bit of individuals. Now, for instance, if you take the case of, let us say, unemployment. Now, in the Indian context, perhaps it could be because of we have that population overpopulation, because there is these imbalances between the demand and supply, because there is an increasing demand for jobs, but the government is not in a way in a position to supply or cater to the rising demands of these jobs. Now, let us try to look at give a recap of what ecosystem, which in a sense I have discussed in the first two lectures. Now, an ecosystem has to be understood from a structural and functional interrelationship, that is persistence among the living organisms and the environment of which they are part of it. That is the structural and the functional interrelationship among various living organisms. That is not just the human, but also other living beings. Now, first and foremost, modern study of soils in the Amazon is an example of this micro-level ecosystem analysis. Now, Morand is again a specialist in the ecological anthropology and also in resource management, agricultural development. Now, in his study in Brazil, in the Amazon, his micro-level ecosystem analysis of soil revealed that substantial areas of nutrient-rich soils which are completely overlooked in the macro-level analysis. Now, which means Moran tries to posit that we need to focus to a micro level ecosystem analysis of soils if one has to look at the structural and functional relationship among living organisms vis-a-vis the environment. Now, again, as a reaction to what Darwin's theory, because Darwin focuses on the alarming increase of population, and he tends to perceive population as something which is not really fundamental, if not equitable to the available resources. Now, there are some anthropologists who in a sense reject, if not doesn't agree with what the idea of Darwin, and they tends to come up with this idea of environmental determinism as a mechanism for explanation. So, in a sense, environmental determinism, as we had discussed in the theoretical premise of human ecology, as something which is sort of not a challenge, but contradicting to Darwin's theory. Now, one of the earliest attempts in the environmental determinism was to map out the cultural features of human populations according to their environmental information. For example, the correlations were drawn between natural features and human technologies. Again, human technologies is important here. Now, Bronislaw Malinowski was perhaps one of the pioneer anthropologists who carried out an ethnographic accounts of the Boers, that is the Boers community, tends to sort of come up with the idea that the environmental determinism in a sense could not sufficiently account for observed realities, and rather there can be a weaker form of determinism which began to emerge. Now, the works of Malinowski among the Boers in a sense made us to realize that environmental determinism alone could not sufficiently give a detailed account or an observation or realities from that perspective. Now, at this particular point of time, the works of Julian Stewart, who tends to give much more of an emphasis on the adaptive mechanism or adaptive responses to similar environments, that in a sense gave to the rise of cultural similarities, and alternative to that he coined a term called cultural ecology. Now, cultural ecology is in a sense which evolved from this cultural sort of environmental determinism, because it has to be seen in ecology has to be seen in relationship between the human culture. Now, the contribution of Julian Stewart in a sense in ecological anthropology is enormous, and his work primarily center on the culture core. Now, in the works of that culture core, he in a sense give an emphasis on the constellations of features which are most closely related to subsistence activities and economic arrangements. Now, in this culture core, Stewart in a sense tries to give a much more emphasis on the kind of subsistence activities of how a community tends to engage in certain kind of economic arrangement. Now, in this in trying to understand this economic arrangement, Stewart demonstrated that in a lower population densities, there is where the tree is sparsely distributed. Thus, he illustrate or give an explanation that there is a direct relationship between resource base and population density. Now, in a way, he tries to look at how a few population, in a sense, flourish if not prosper. That is, he tends to posit from the idea of these subsistence activities. Now, I'll try to explain this further in a much more clear way in the upcoming lectures by citing certain case studies. Now, Stewart was also pretty much interested in the explanation of this relationship between, that is, the regards to water availability and management. That is sort of the resource management. His ideas of this cultural ecology again was influenced by his studies, which was focused on the South American and indigenous group. Now, again, the availability of this water or management of resources, he tends to focus on the kind of knowledge system which the indigenous communities have in the South America. Now, this knowledge system has to be understood in the context of how the communities were able to sustainably, utilize the resources, or how well they manage, if not use the resources. Now, in his study, he comes up with engage in three particular understanding or investigations of cultural ecology. Now, the first is he tends to look at describing at the understanding at the natural resources and the kind of technology which was used to extract and process them. Now, why is technology important in the context of extracting or rather exploiting the resources? Because technology, in a sense, determines how well a community is able to engage in the sustainably using the resources or not. And secondly, he also outlined the social organizations of work for these subsistence and economic activities. And thirdly, he also tries to trace the influences of these two phenomena on other aspects of culture. Now, therefore, in a sense, Stewart often fluctuate between the idea of this determinism and possibilism, and we can in a way say that he was more interested in trying to engage in a comparative studies or using comparative method in order to discover these the laws of cultural phenomena, which was again espoused by Berfield. Now, therefore, how does one tries to engage or locate in the understanding the cultural ecology of a particular society? Now, Stewart has pointed out these three important steps of engaging in investigation of a cultural ecology of a particular society. Now, way back in the 60s and 1960s and 70s, cultural ecology and environmental determinism, in a sense, tends to sort of decline, or if not wane away within the discipline of anthropology. Now, ecological anthropologists tends to engage in forming a new school of thought, which include the ecosystem model and also sub-discipline like ethnoecology and historical ecology. And with these sub-disciplines, researchers in the field of ecological anthropology have a strong urge and hope that the study on adaptations would provide a particular explanations of customs and institutions. That is, how a human institutions is influenced, if not to be understood in the context of human and environment. Now, in essence, by incorporating all these subfields, ecological anthropologists believe that the populations are not engaged with the total environment around them, but rather with a habitat consisting of certain selected aspects of the local ecosystem. Now, again, this local ecosystem is given importance here. Now, furthermore, its population in a sense has its own mechanism of adaptations, which in essence over a period of time is institutionalized in the culture of that particular group, especially through their use of technologies. Now, these technologies again is developed and it has evolved over a period of time, depending on the kind of adaptation which a human society has tends to cope with the environment, and this adaptive mechanism is being institutionalized within that cultural group, and partially partly it becomes sort of a part of their culture, those practices in a sense rather. Now, what then is ethnoecology? Ethnoecology can in a sense tends to look at the paradigm and investigates native thought about the environmental phenomena, the phenomena in which it operates, and of a particular native society, how they operate in the particular environmental phenomena. And it also looked at how a particular, it focuses on the indigenous classifications of hierarchies referring to a particular aspects of environment. Now, for instance, the kind of soil types, plants and animals which a particular communities engage upon. Now, these are some of the fields how or into which ethnoecology look at. We can also partly mention about ethnomedicine, how a particular native societies have engaged upon the environment, or it tries to look at sort of the medicinal plants, their knowledge, know-how of that community, and then through that engagement, how they are able to sort of use that knowledge for their own benefit. Now, those are some of the sort of subfields of ecological anthropology. Now, what is the relevance of ecological anthropology, and why do we feel that within anthropology, why is the need or to focus on ecological anthropology? Now,
a field such as ecological anthropology in essence is primarily relevant to the contemporary concerns with the state of a general environment, and the kind of knowledge within anthropology has sort of the advantage or potential to sort of provide an information regarding the human society about how to construct a sustainable ways of life. Now, again sustainability or sustainable development has in essence tends to occupies a very important topic, if not theme, in recent times, and perhaps ecological anthropology in a sense is able to sort of investigate further how human populations tends to engage in a much more sustainable ways of life by trying to locate and understand different forms of cultural groups in different settings or in different environment. And in the ecological anthropology, it also it has strongly focuses on the environmental perspective by demonstrating the importance of preserving cultural diversity. Now, cultural diversity can be seen or explained in the context of studying different cultural groups and trying to compare and look at how different cultural groups tends to behave, if not operate differently in different environment. Now, again biological diversity is necessary for the adaptation and survival of all species, and within this cultural diversity may serve a similar roles for the human species, because of it is clearly one of the most important mechanisms of adaptation. Now, biological diversity has to be seen or in relationship with cultural diversity. Now, this is partly the reason why this course, or if not the importance or relevance of ecological anthropology is. Thank you.